My name is Emily. I was 16 years old when this story began. I lived in a small town near Boston called Willowbrook. It was a quiet place with green hills, little cafes, and one big school where all the students went. That year, I started my grade 10. We had a new teacher for literature. His name was Mr. Harris. He was 25 years old, but he looked older than that, mature and thoughtful. He wore glasses, carried a brown leather satchel, and often dressed in a simple white shirt with a navy jumper. His green eyes looked calm and kind, and when he smiled, they seemed to shine with warmth. All the girls noticed him at once. Some whispered, giggled, and even dropped their pens on purpose just to catch his attention. But Mr. Harris always stayed polite. He focused only on teaching. And I liked him too. But unlike the other girls, I was shy. I always sat near the window, listening carefully. His voice made every poem sound magical. He explained why stories mattered, why a single line of poetry could feel sad or joyful. He encouraged us to write about our feelings, not just the fact. I poured my heart into every essay, hoping he would notice. And he did. When he handed back my paper, sometimes he wrote, "Well done, Emily." Just 2 words, but they made me smile all day. At home, I often thought about him. I imagined his evenings. Did he listen to music? Did he sit with books the way I did? Once I saw him at the grocery store. Another time at a bookshop. He always greeted me kindly, and my heart raced each time. But then everything changed. At the start of spring, Mr. Harris told us he was leaving. He had accepted a new job in another city. The classroom went quiet. Some girls cried. I simply froze. It felt as though I had lost something precious. For weeks, I missed him deeply. I even walked past the small white house where he had lived, but a new family soon moved in. The memory began to fade, though never completely. Time moved on. I prepared for my university exams and joined a private evening class in town. On the very first day, the door opened, and there he was again, Mr. Harris. My teacher once more. This time, our conversations were longer. He walked me home when it rained. We talked about books, music, and dreams for the future. For a while, it felt like we truly understood each other. But life has a way of changing. He was offered another position, this time in Boston, and so we said goodbye again. We exchanged letters for a time, but slowly they grew shorter, more distant. Eventually, the letters stopped altogether. I went on to university in New York. I kept the book of poems he gave me, but I locked those memories in a quiet corner of my heart. Years later, as a young woman, I saw him again. He looked older, more tired, no longer the person I had carried in my imagination. We spoke politely, shared coffee, and remembered the past. But the feeling was gone. The girl I had been was gone too. And yet, I felt no sadness, only peace. I realized he had been part of my story, but not the end of it. Now, I am a teacher myself. I help children discover the beauty of words, just as he once helped me. And perhaps one day, one of my students will remember me in the same way. So, my dear listeners, what can you learn from Emily's story? You've heard natural English expressions for emotions, phrases like, my heart raced, I froze, and I poured my heart into. These are useful for talking about love, memory, and growing up. You've also seen how the past tense is used to tell life stories in English. Now, here's my question for you. Have you ever had a teacher or mentor who inspired you? Share your story in the comments. I'd love to read it. Thank you for listening to Real English Stories. Until next time, keep learning, keep listening, and remember, every story teaches us something, both about language and about life.